Welcome to Premium Diecast. Here at the channel we focus on 1:64 scale premium diecast collections. Today we've got a straight head-to-head comparison. Hot Wheels Premium versus MiniGT. We've got two Lamborghini Urus, or is it two Uruses or Uri? Who knows, but they're both orange. Now the reason why we're doing this is so when it comes to you, the collector, you're able to make an informed decision as to which premium diecast manufacturer is better. And the matchups don't get any more David versus Goliath. One thing's for sure, there's no better way to do a comparison and a matchup between manufacturers than the exact same casting, the same model car, in the exact same colour. So which Urus is better? Well, make sure you stay to the end of the video to find out. To determine the winner, we've set 4 criteria that each casting will be scored against. First one is attention to detail. Detail is key in the world of diecast, particularly in the premium category. Number 2 is the build quality. Now, a premium diecast here, we're at the opinion of whether or not you like to keep all your diecasts on a wall or tucked away in a box or a drawer somewhere, you still should be able to play with them. Number 3, is the casting true to scale? Is it true to scale compared to its real life counterpart? And number 4 is collectibility or desirability. Basically, is this casting froth or is it not? Starting with the Hot Wheels Premium. So this is from the Car Culture series. It's the Autostrasse set from 2022. Hot Wheels Premium is a full metal construction on the casting. So there's a metal base, metal die-cast casting itself. It is also using rubber wheels, or as Mattel call them, real riders. So made of rubber, opposed from what you'll see in the main line. I mean, straight off the bat, this Urus, comparing it to the Urus that was released in the Hot Wheels mainline in 2017, is worlds apart. Okay, let's open this up. And here we have it. So straight off the bat we can see the Lamborghini badge, which is displayed nice and clearly on the front of the car. There are some black tampos on the side and on the bonnet, which actually really highlight the geometric shape of the Lamborghini Urus, which is definitely a great touch, and I know that these were missing on that mainline casting that came out in 2017. Coming around the back, you can see the Lamborghini logo is there on the tailgate, but all in all, this is a really nice looking casting. Now, also when it comes down to detail, we're looking at things like the headlights. Now that these headlights and indicator lights here, they're tampos or stickers, so they're just stuck on there. So that's something that could actually rub off over time. So for durability, they're not fantastic to have those as tampos. And then also the rear exhaust here are also tampos, as well as the rear lights as well. And the one thing that gets me, and it happens so often with Hot Wheels Premiums that you're paying a premium for, is there are no side mirrors. The front grille is actually quite nice. I know in real life the Urus has a massive forward-facing camera there, which you can actually see quite predominantly in the grille. You don't have that level of detail here, but then still it's actually nice to see the contours of the actual car. And the other thing that we like to look at in attention to detail on all premium diecasts is the detail which is on the underside of the car. Do like seeing what the actual make and model of the car is on the actual casting itself, so then when anyone who picks it up can say that, you know, may not be a car expert, but they can flip it over and they can very easily see what the make and model of the car is, and that's something that Hot Wheels do very well. But then also what I do like in here is that you can actually see the axle and the suspension and a few of the other underbody elements that would be existent on a true to life Lamborghini Urus. Trying to look into the interiors in here, it's quite dark, obviously being black, it's hard to actually really see any detail. And the tint on the plastic, even though yes it's clear if you can see and catch it in the light, but it's actually got a bit of a dark tint to it as well. You can see the steering wheel. I can see from here if the steering wheel has much detail in it, because it's definitely something that you look for in a premium diecast. And then as well as the center panel here, which you can see in the interiors, which there looks like to be a visible screen. And then just around the back, the one other thing to add is, like, I think they really missed a beat here, not including a number plate on the back. I mean, there's definitely plenty of space to have a number plate there. I suppose that's an addition that we can look to make in the future when we do a premium diecast custom on this casting. So there we have it. I think all in all, in terms of a score for attention to detail for this casting, you're never going to be able to score full marks if there aren't any side mirrors. And then also, I think Tampo headlights do let castings down. I mean, they're great when you can customize them and you can paint over them and that sort of thing. But I mean, that's also a missing point there. But all in all, for attention to detail, I'm going to score this one 2.5 out of 5. So let's put this one back over here. And let's open up the MiniGT. Officially licensed by Lamborghini. True scale miniatures. Let's see what we have. Here's the big reveal. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. That's a world of difference right there. That is incredible. I mean, it definitely looks and appears to be much bigger. It's definitely much bigger, so we'll get down to it and we'll have a look in terms of the scale of it in the next category. But right now we just want to look at the attention to detail. So this is the first time I've ever looked at one of these. It's in a cardboard box with MiniGT. So that's also a great thing about MiniGT, is that they force you to open it up, or you're just going to put a box on your shelf. But we can see straight away here the extra attention to detail that we have on this casting. I mean, the most obvious is the rear view, the side mirrors, which is definitely there. The Lamborghini badge is clear on the front as well. The other thing that I see quite clearly in this casting, and this is nice extra additional detail that you just didn't see in that Hot Wheels, are handles for the doors. And the fuel tank as well, it's all here in this casting. There's a sunroof, which is nice. There's the roof antenna for the sound system. There are number plates. I mean, look at all this extra grille detail. This is all part of the casting. We've got chrome exhausts. I mean, there's just so much more detail that's gone into creating this casting here. I mean, it's actually incredible. I'm actually blown away by this, just looking at it the first time. I think these headlights actually might be tampos, which is a bit different for MiniGT. A lot of the MiniGT line, they actually put plastic inside the headlights. I mean, it could be plastic. It's very quite dark tinted. It could be a tampo. It's actually hard to do. Oh no, that's actually plastic. It's actually a really dark tint plastic. And then there's a little tampo, a bit of detail sticker that has been put onto the headlight to actually give it the Urus shape. You can actually see the camera, just shine another light just here, the forward facing camera, which is so distinct on a Urus that if you see a Urus in the flesh, that camera really sticks out when you're looking at the front grille of it. So that's fantastic. Well done, MiniGT. Yeah, nice chrome rims. There we go. They spin nicely. But look at that back. Look at the tail lights there. There's more details. You see actually the Lamborghini logo in there as well, which is what we saw on the Hot Wheels premium version. Again, those tail lights inserted into the casting itself. I think I mentioned the chrome exhausts, the rear diffusers. You can see that detail there. Then on the underside, we've got a metal base. So you've got the MiniGT logo, but this actually doesn't say anywhere on it Lamborghini Urus, which is a little bit disappointing. And you can see the Lamborghini badge and the number plate there actually says Urus on it. Then actually you see some of the detail in terms of what's happening underneath the car here. The winning piece here is definitely these chrome exhausts, which really add to that casting. I'll try to give you a closer look in here to see inside the interiors of the car, which you can see it's easier to see in, obviously, because the windows are clearer, but you can see that steering wheel, it's not just a blob of plastic that you often see. There's actually detail, it's actually been cut out in there, so you can actually see that. And I think you can see the gear stick or handbrake. Let's see, rotating around here. I'm really blown away with this casting. I think it's fantastic. I think the detail is just incredible. It looks amazing. Yeah, I can definitely rate this 4.5 out of 5. I think a bit more detail on the underside probably would have given it its full marks. So there you have it, the MiniGT Lamborghini Urus versus the Hot Wheels Premium Lamborghini Urus. I think they're worlds apart. So the next thing we look at is the build quality. So let's start off with the Hot Wheels. Now, I actually really like these black rims that come with this Urus. I think it looks great. But in terms of the playability, rollability, that rolls really well. That's great to play with. You could play with this for hours and you wouldn't be worried about breaking it at all. I think that is a really solid build. In terms of the MiniGT, this is also a good build here. The side mirrors are on well. These side mirrors are actually made of rubber. So they tend to be a little bit weaker than the rest of the casting. But that's how they can get such great detail into the side mirrors themselves. So you just got to be careful with them. But these actually feel like they're on very solidly, which is nice. In terms of the ride is nice and light. It moves along well as you play with the car. What I like about this is the wheels, they spin independent. They spin together as an axle, and then you can see that looks fantastic just as they roll through there. They spin actually really nicely. Compare that to the Hot Wheels. They don't quite spin as much or as for long, and you don't get that satisfactory spin out of them. However, when it rolls along, that rolls very well, and it does come to a more abrupt stop than with the MiniGT, which I didn't put much effort into that at all, and then it continues to roll. The one thing I noticed is there's a bit of noise, and actually there's a little bit of bounce with this MiniGT when it rolls along. Just take a closer look at these wheels, because I suspect that's what's happening. Yeah, so one of the rubber tires isn't on quite straight, so that just needs to be knocked into place. That's fine. I'm sure if I opened another one exactly the same, it probably wouldn't have that issue, but yeah. So in terms of the build quality, I think both castings have been made really well. You can definitely play with both of these without any worries. I think more so the Hot Wheels, I think it's more designed for that kind of play. You could easily put this premium diecast on the track and not worry too much about it. So yeah, I think all in all, I think in terms of build quality, I think we've got to score I mean, it'd be nice for these wheels to spin a bit more freely on the Hot Wheels. So I think for the Hot Wheels Premium, we'll give that 4.5 out of 5. And then the build quality for the Mini GT, I think we'll score that 4. Now for our third criteria, is the casting true to scale? According to Lamborghini, the length of a Lamborghini Urus is 513 centimeters. So let's measure these cars and then let's work out what ratio these are actually cast at. We can see straight away that they are different size castings. Starting with the Hot Wheels first, we're right at the back. It's on 0 and the edge we can just see 7 there. The Mini GT, let's just make sure we're on 0 here. And then that's probably 7.95, let's call it 8 centimeters. The Hot Wheels Premium being 7 centimeters, that actually translates into a 1:73 scale. As you can see, it's a fair bit smaller than the Mini GT. And so actually when we put that 8 centimeters that the Mini GT is measured to, that's actually where it translates to actually a true 1:64 scale. Then to distribute the points for accuracy as being true to 1:64 scale, we're going to give Mini GT 5 points because it's spot on, and the Hot Wheels is nowhere near close at 1:73 scale. We can only give that 2 points. We're now down to our final category. This is all about the collectability of the casting. Is it a desirable car to have in your collection? Or in short, is the casting froth or not? We'll start off with the Hot Wheels Premium. I think the orange, the color that's been chosen for this casting, is fantastic. I think it makes it stand out. It is let down, I think, to its lack of accuracy in terms of the casting itself. So would I put this in my collection? Would I be chasing it down to hang it on the wall or put it in the diorama, or for that matter, put it in the Lamborghini showroom? I could pass on it. So, based on that, we're going to give it 2.5 points. Next up, we've got the Mini GT Urus. I can tell you what, I was really blown away by this casting. Before I opened it and pulled it out of the box, I did not think that it was going to look as good as this. The level of detail is second to none. Even that front camera that's in the grille, which is so iconic to the Urus, it hasn't been left out. I think Mini GT have done a fantastic job with this casting. Would I have it in my collection? I mean, it's a sports car as a 4-wheel drive. I mean, it is definitely a great addition to have. So for that, we're giving it 5 out of 5 points for froth factor. This car is absolute froth. That's a must-have. And there we have it. That's it. That's our head-to-head. Hot Wheels Premium versus Mini GT. And we've got a clear winner. So going through the points, we've got the Hot Wheels Premium in the first category scoring 2.5. Then for build quality, 4.5. For the inaccuracy of the scale, it only scored 2. And the froth factor, or the desirability, collectability factor, it scored 2.5, which is a total of 11.5 out of 20. And the clear winner today is the Mini GT Lamborghini Urus. Its attention to detail is second to none. We scored it 4.5 out of 5. Perhaps it was worth the full 5 points. The build quality is strong, is solid, and scored a 4. The 1:64 scale accuracy, it was 100% accurate. The length of the car was true, 1:64 scale. And we gave it an overall froth factor of 5. So that giving it a total score of 18.5 out of 20. The Lamborghini Urus from Mini GT is mega froth. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you smash that like button. It really helps the channel. And leave comments if you agreed or didn't agree with any of our scoring. Also comment on any other castings that you'd like to see a head-to-head for. Just let us know. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button as well, because it really helps us out. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.